Hey Todd, as you transition into the new groups that you've got going here today, have there been any of the younger guys who have stood out to you through now 4 days of camp?
Well, they all have in their own way. Everybody's at a different place. So when you think of youth, you think of Tyler Madden, for example, showing up for his first time in training camp. It's a lot to take in right away, and he's in a good spot. Then you talk about youth. I still consider Blake Lizotte a young player, but he's way further along the line, and he's in a different spot than Tyler would be. He's got some experience, and he's able to pick the concepts up quick and put them into play. But everything in between, as long as we have each individual prospect moving in the proper direction on that curve, if you will, then we're in a good spot. But, as far as individuals catching our eye, it's more the group as a whole. And 4 days isn't a lot yet, so we'll need a little more time.
Thanks, Todd.
Next is Jack Harris.
Hey, Todd, just after these first couple days, do you have sort of an idea of what off the ice might be the biggest changes to your guys' routine, given all of the social distancing and just other stuff that you guys are going to have to do?
To be quite honest, I don't, and I'll tell you why, is because our routine here at our practice facility hasn't changed much, even though training camp has started. So we become accustomed to testing, social distancing, masks. We know where we can or can't go. Nothing has been out of the ordinary if you consider the ordinary the past few months. I think where it's going to change dramatically is once we begin to travel, and travel can be heading to the Staples Center or on a road trip. And we're slowly preparing for that. We're getting more and more information about how we need to do things, and what we require to get into buildings, where we need to enter, what buses and planes are going to look like, that type of stuff. And the other thing that we're forgetting about is the environment that we're going to play in. No fans, unfortunately. So quiet buildings and the lack of energy that our home fans provide us at the Staples Center, we're going to have to adjust to that as well.
And then do you have any clarity as just the World Juniors line down this week, if any of those guys are going to be able to join you guys before camp breaks?
Not yet. I know that Rob Blake and his staff are working on that. Yesterday, certain teams lost out. We had Toby Bjornfoot that lost with the Swedish team, so we're trying to make plans with him. And I think we have 5 other players that are still participating, 3 on the U.S. team and 1 with the Canadian team, as well as a Slovak, but I don't think he'll be attending camp. So the process of getting them here, getting them into our bubble, be in regards to testing and quarantining and that type of stuff, is something that I don't have my hands on. That's a management thing, and I know they're working really hard on it.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Lisa Dillman.
Yeah, Todd, I was wondering how I wanted to hear your thoughts on the taxi squad and how difficult it's going to be to handle things, because I guess presumably once the AHL gets going, you want your players, your top prospects to be playing, obviously.
I think you're fairly accurate with that thought process, and playing and minutes and experience is really important for young players, and it's something we're taking into consideration when we talk about our 23-man roster and then that 4 to 6-man taxi squad. So we're not exactly sure yet how we're going to use it. We'll wait and see how some of these young players from the World Junior Tournament looks, and then we'll make decisions as we go. But we're hoping that we don't have to tap the taxi squad for any games. And I don't mean that because we don't want those players playing. I mean that because it means we're relatively healthy and we're having success as a team. But as far as who will be on it and how we'll rotate players in and out, that hasn't been decided yet.
And separately, I know we're asking you about individual players each day, but Sean Durzi has made a decent impression. How would you assess what he's been able to do the first 4 days?
Well, I go back to last year from training camp last year to this point. He still has great vision. He makes great passing plays. He finds people in quiet ice where some other players maybe don't find them. But what's been more impressive is the work that he's done over the summer, his conditioning, his strength, his skating's improved. He feels obviously more comfortable and confident here at camp. And that shows as much as his skill set does. So it's been nice to see him have success so far in 4 days.
Thanks.
Okay, next up, Claudia Jestro.
Elias Henderson came over from the Rangers and has done pretty well so far. What has he brought to this team, and how well is he adapting to the Kings system and style?
Well, fresh start, and when you've gone through what he's gone through for whatever reason, I think he understands that the lifeline's a little bit shorter as you go through organization. So he's hungry, he's ready, he's in good condition. He's been willing to learn and adapt, but his tenacity is the biggest thing that I've noticed. When the scrimmages are on, he's around the puck. He's got a little nastiness to him. He digs in and comes up with a lot of pucks and battles and goes to the paint. So he has fit our team well to this point. I think he'll get more and more comfortable as days go on, and we hope that we've found a player for our sake and certainly for his sake as well.
Thank you, Todd.
Okay, we'll try again here with Gan Matsuda. We got a couple more minutes here, and we only have a couple more questions, so that should work out.
Can you guys hear me this time?
Yep.
Fantastic. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. Todd, a couple of days ago, you mentioned that Mikey Anderson has basically earned a spot in your roster, your big club's roster. Could you elaborate on that? What has he done? What did you do last year that really caught your eye, and what does he still need to work on?
Well, like any player, he still has a lot to work on and a lot to polish up. But as a young player, he positionally was really sound. He anticipated plays well in games. He wasn't intimidated by playing in certain situations or buildings. And his teammates around him appreciated him as a player. They really found a way to make it work with him. And we've seen that carry over here into training camp. So as he moves forward, we expect him to be part of our team. We haven't anointed any positions yet, but certainly he's got a foot in the door and has played well throughout the first 4 days. So we think that he'll have a good long career with us.
It also seems to me when I spoke to him, he's mature beyond his years. What is your impression of him in that regard, in terms of potential leadership potential and stuff like that?
Well, I think you almost answered your own question. Mature beyond years. That's him, and you can tell he's a college player. He's been in and around men for a little while. He carries himself very professionally around the rink, on the ice and off of it. He fits our group well. As we move forward, who knows where that will take him as far as the leadership group with the team. But right now, he's just trying to break into the league as a full-time player, and we're not going to put any added pressure on him for any of those other intangibles.
Thanks, Todd.
All right, we'll finish up here with Dennis Bernstein.
Todd, 4 days in, any bumps and bruises, any injury updates for us on your roster?
No, for the most part, everybody seems to be generally healthy. There's always sore muscles and tightness and stuff like that after 4 days of competition, but nothing that puts us in a real bad situation. So we think right now, if we had to play game one, we'd have basically everybody available.
We're going to talk to Jeff Carter in a little while. He may take on a lesser role, maybe a third-line right winger, which means he's not going to play 17 minutes a night. Have you talked to him about that possibility of not being as featured as he normally is? Because historically, he's been a top six player.
No, I haven't talked to him because I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay.
I don't anticipate cutting him back. I think that he'll play, and he dictates how many minutes he gets, as all players do. But I see him penalty killing. I see him on the power play, and I see him in a regular line situation. So in my mind, there's no need to talk to him about it.